We all know those people. They show up to class with a light, ethereal sheen of sweat on their forehead with their fixed-gear bike in tow. And they go for a light jog at lunch, and then they eat a power bar. Or they bow out after drinks for a quick little jaunt on the elliptical. Sure, they're gym rats, and they're pretty darn annoying. But they may be onto something when it comes to, wait for it, mental health. Yep. We're going to get you into their camp without having you invest in leg warmers and wristbands. Today on Wellcast, we're going to be talking about exercise. Now, we all know that exercise can help out with our weight and our strength and our endurance and our flexibility. But how much do you know about the effects of exercise on the mind? Physically, the benefits of exercise are pretty obvious. And the American College of Sports Medicine recommends 30 minutes of moderate physical activity per day. The Surgeon General, well, he agrees. It'll keep your heart healthy, your weight down, and all systems go. But the psychological benefits of exercise are actually just as compelling. Physically active people show significantly fewer symptoms of depression than sedentary people. A study done by doctors at the University of Texas Medical Center found that people who exercise 30 minutes per day were almost half as likely to be depressed as people who did not. Exercise also releases endorphins to the brain, creating a sense of well-being. It makes people high on wellness, and it's natural, legal, and it won't give you the munchies. Along with it getting you awesomely pumped up on endorphins, exercise increases alpha wave activity to the brain. That's the kind of brainwave that helps you clear your mind and focus. But now, we've come to a roadblock. To a lot of people, exercise is boring. You don't like getting sweaty. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. You don't have time. The list goes on. But that's why we're here, and we're going to get you into a brain-clearing, focus-building exercise routine that won't seem too daunting to start. And we're going to get your brain to realize why exercise is essential. Time for our Wellcast journal workout. And we actually mean a physical one this time. First, set aside 30 minutes to work out. That's right. Put on that workout gear of choice. Crank up your music. Get your heart rate up. Get sweaty. Dance around if you need to. Do jumping jacks. Jog in place. Take a break to do a few sit-ups. Nothing too intimidating, though. Okay? And after 30 minutes, sit down with your Wellcast journal and write about it. Write about how you felt during the workout. No, not how your body felt. Focus on your mind. Did you have trouble starting? How did you feel in the middle of the workout? At the end? Now, try doing this every day for 1 week. That's right. Pump iron, run in place, do sit-ups, do those jumping jacks for 30 minutes every day. At the end of the week, write down how your mood has changed within that period. The brain recognizes success when it sees it, which means the better you feel emotionally after working out, the more likely you are to do it on a semi-regular basis. And then you'll reap all those other physical benefits too. Let's recap. Everyone knows how exercise has oodles of physical benefits. Hi. Well, here at Wellcast, we focused only on the mental ones. Anyway, you exercised for 30 minutes and then you wrote in your journal. Right off the bat, you were probably pretty tired, but when you came back for another journaling session, we want to know how you felt. Did you get any of that focus that all these studies boast about? What about after 1 week? Let us know how your exercise went.
Tweet us at WatchWellcast, email us at watchwellcast@gmail.com, or leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Playing sports and how they impact you. Just as a library is necessary for the mental health of a person, so is a playground for the physical health. Playing sports, indoor or outdoor, is important for the mental as well as physical development of an individual, and every sport has its own unique advantages. Let's look at a few sports and how they impact us. 1. Cricket. There are many benefits on playing cricket. Cricket helps in enhancing hand-eye coordination. When you play cricket, you get fit by running between wickets, running up to bowl, and running after the ball to field it. When you play cricket, you will develop stamina because cricket games can last for a very long time. 2. Football. Football players require a great level of stamina. Among various factors, concentration is the most important thing. Even a tiny distraction can make you lose the game. Thus, players can increase their concentration spans with this game. Further, football works very well to develop your leg muscles, namely the shins and thighs. Legs, being the largest muscles of the body, are the most crucial. They enhance muscle growth across the body by releasing testosterone and growth hormones. 3. Hockey. Hockey is a fast-paced sport that improves its players' pace, agility, and lower body strength. Playing hockey is a fun and effective way of burning off calories with its fast pace requiring short bursts of sprint energy, along with long-term stamina over the course of a match. The sustained energy and holistic muscular strength required in a hockey match help develop the body's cardiovascular system, therefore improve your breathing by pumping more oxygen around the body. Hockey is one sport that works on both your legs as well as upper body at the same time. Playing hockey is a great way of developing your body's leg muscles, including the hamstring, hips, and calves. It also improves the endurance of shoulder muscles, triceps, and forearms. Hockey relies on good coordination between the eyes and the hands and improves the reflexes and reaction times of its players. 4. Swimming. Swimming works your whole body, improving cardiovascular conditioning, muscle strength, endurance, posture, and flexibility all at the same time. Your cardiovascular system in particular benefits because swimming improves your body's use of oxygen without overworking your heart. As you become fitter and are able to swim longer, your resting heart rate and respiratory rate will be reduced, making blood flow to the heart and lungs more efficient. If you're looking to lose weight, swimming is just the ticket. Chess. Chess is now known to be an imaginative and strategic game. People find playing chess relaxing, and it also helps them to think analytically. It improves the focus and concentration of one's mind. Chess teaches a person to analyze different situations and think 1,000 times before taking a step, as not always the first decision is the right one. As chess requires one to remember various positions and strategies, this helps in improved memory and increased concentration. Sports are the most natural way to stay fit, since playing a sport never seems like an effort, but only seems fun. Thanks for watching.
Boast again, a boast from Nicole. But a great cross-court there, got onto it really quickly.
And it all started with the first drop shot that David played about 20 strokes ago, which had Massaro out of position. She was chasing the point, and that was the last one.
And Nicole really chasing this ball down. Massaro trying to put it away. Another great boast, but Nicole's onto it. Beautiful lob back into the rally. Oh, Yes, and well played there from Laura. I really felt then that Nicole was going to get into that rally and come out on top, but Massaro hung on in there. So Laura really needing to get herself back into this first game. Better cross court there, better width. Allows her to play that drop shot and really needs to finish this off, but Nicole back onto it again, and a great tight ball from Nicole under pressure.
Well, that means 7 game balls here for Nicole David for a 1-game lead after, what, barely 5 minutes. There it is. Well, it couldn't really have been too much more comprehensive than that. As Laura Massaro has to regroup.
Oh, it's a great shot. She can't afford to let Nicole get any further away from her now. She's going to have to fight, show what she's made of.
Massaro was doing what you'll let for that.
No let.
No let.
6-1.
And looking a little bit frustrated there at the moment, Laura.
Now.
I mentioned that she beat her on Thursday, David, Massaro. You say that revenge is a dish best served cold, and at the moment, Massaro being completely frozen out by Nicole David, who completes an 11-2 demolition in that second game. We're tied up at 3-all here in the third game.
There's that beautiful boast.
That's her shot, isn't it? That's her shot.
It's definitely her trademark shot, and on this court, if you can just get it right.
Out.
Suddenly, there's a bit of a gap developing here.
Not up.
Oh, and a lovely little boast there from Nicole.
Fantastic hands, and it gives the world #1 from Malaysia 2 championship points.
Tight ball played there, and a lovely cross court, but Nicole onto it. And she's managed to get that back. Kept herself in the rally. Can she put this rally away and get back level in this game? And really trying to pile on the pressure, Massaro, but just not able to get onto that ball.
Well, that pretty much sums up everything about Nicole David, because Massaro did everything she could to win the point. Against most players she would have done, but not this girl. And Nicole David is the champion here at Queen's. After a fabulous performance, she wins in 3 straight games. At least Massaro made a fight for it in that third game.
9-all, PJ.
Well, points and rallies don't come much bigger than this. 9-all, 2-1 lead in the World Championship final.
Well, here we go. This is like something out of a comic book. Oh, what an outrageous rally! Extraordinary squash! People in the crowd jumping out of their seats. PJ's ended up on my lap. Well, where do we start on this one, PJ? How many shots do you want to talk about?
Well, the one between the legs for me has to be the pivotal moment of this rally. The wide cross court comes round.
Thank you.
There's the dive from a short. The attempted volley cross court.
Hand out.
But there's a one shot in the rally where
10-9.
Sabagi hits the
Game
ball between
ball.
his legs.
Squash has dreamed of being an Olympic sport for a very long time. Having topped the vote for new sports at the IOC Congress in Singapore in 2005, squash was cruelly denied a place in the 2012 Olympic Games on the grounds that it did not achieve a two-thirds majority. Undeterred, squash resolved to pick itself up, dust itself off, and try again. Since that time, the World Squash Federation has made a number of changes to the game and the way it's organized.
It has overhauled the scoring system to make the game simpler and more appealing.
It has revised the refereeing system, now using 3 referees to deliver decisions quickly and accurately.
It has created an athletes commission represented on the WSF board to make sure that every evolutionary change is in the players' interests.
It has created new events all over the world, aimed at young people particularly, and has received record-breaking entries to Junior World Championships, which now occur every year.
It has embraced new media and the need to brand itself to attract young players to the sport. It has become fully WADA compliant.
It continues to develop the sport across the world and now counts 175 countries where squash is enjoyed and 147 member national federations.
It has invested heavily in televising the sport more clearly and in distribution of squash programming on television and the World Wide Web.
Squash is included in 20 major multi-sport games all over the world and is one of 10 core sports in the Commonwealth Games.
Yet it remains one of the most accessible, economical, egalitarian sports in the world. The average cost of a 45-minute game is just $4. No membership is required. Just turn up and play.
Beginners enjoy a steep learning curve that rewards as equally as it challenges. Squash is a sport that is easy to play, but where achieving greatness must be the result of hours of training on fitness and technique, and also on developing the mental and strategic skills needed to win a game. Squash has been called turbocharged chess. It is enthralling, exciting, absorbing, rewarding.
Les joueurs de squash sont de véritables athlètes. Les meilleurs joueurs de nos jours doivent courir à toute vitesse en quelques pas seulement et maintenir cette course pendant plus d'une heure pour satisfaire les demandes du jeu. Ils doivent atteindre des coins profonds et revenir rapidement au centre du court après chaque coup. Ils doivent changer de direction sans perdre. Ne sont jamais trop fatigués pour aider.
Every professional player understands what it might mean to be an Olympic athlete. All will take such responsibility seriously and represent the Olympic Games positively in all that they do. None will let us or the Olympic movement down. Squash is a spectacle. It is played on portable glass courts that can be placed almost anywhere, viewed from any angle. The crowd surrounds the court. Iconic locations allow squash to develop the image and media value of the sport, bringing the game to the people. New spectators, non-squash playing fans, have multiplied.
It would be an honor for squash to showcase whichever city is chosen to host the Games. We have already seen world-class competition at the Palacio Real in Madrid and in the Museum of Natural History in Chicago. We would love to see courts in Shibuya or framed by Sugarloaf Mountain.
Televising the sport is very simple. World-class coverage can be achieved with 6 or 7 TV cameras, some of them remote and unmanned. Our glass courts allow cameras to get in close without disturbing match play.
At the Olympic Games, squash can be staged at minimal cost and disruption to normal life in the host city. Courts are easy to erect and dismantle, and the sport takes up minimal space relative to the value it brings. It leaves no environmental footprint behind. In fact, the only thing squash will leave behind will be the 2 glass courts which the WSF will provide free of charge, and then donate to the host city after the Games, for the good of the development of the sport.
In the lead-up to the Games, competitors will use squash clubs in each candidate city for training. We have made the necessary arrangements already, again at minimum cost to the Games, but with maximum positive impact to the squash community in the host city. Our proposal includes only men's and women's singles, 32 draw competitions, adding only 64 athletes in total to the Olympic roster. Squash players typically travel alone without the entourage of coaches, psychologists, physiotherapists, doctors and analysts that characterize other sports.
2 competitions means only 2 sets of medals, and it also means a short time will be needed for actual competition. 6 days competition, plus a further 3 days setup and de-rig. This means that venues can easily be shared. Squash is gender neutral and is accessible to all ages, colors, and beliefs.
Squash promotes diversity. Based on current professional rankings, there could be 30 different nationalities represented in the 2016 Games. Current world champions represent Egypt and Malaysia. Recent world champions have represented France and the Netherlands. The Olympic movement stands for universality and equality. Squash demonstrates a level of universality that few sports can match. It is the only sport which can boast world champions, men and women, from all 5 IOC-recognized continents.
The Olympic Games is the pinnacle of world sport. Being one of the most athletic games played across the globe by a diverse and growing number of athletes, squash has never been so well placed to be a part of this amazing sporting spectacle.
It'd mean everything to me to win an Olympic gold medal.
Winning an Olympic gold medal would be the pinnacle of my career.
It would be great to be part in the Olympics.
To have squash in the Olympics is just going to be the ultimate thing to have.
The time is right. and squash is ready.
I'm about to play squash.
Let's play squash.
When something's let me shed a little light on it. I'm Nicole David. I'm world #1, and I play Prince. I've been with Prince since 2005, so that was my first world title and my first British Open title, and Prince have just been supporting me all the way. At the moment, I'm using the XO3 Rebel. When you use it and feel it, it just feels right. You know, it feels right on the ball. It has a great slice, and with the holes on the sides, it actually travels through the air faster. So even with the weight, it's a good weight, and it just feels good. You know, when you hit the ball, you know you're actually hitting a good shot. Even under pressure, you know the racket actually holds up. It doesn't just go because it's the true balance, and the feel of the ball is great. I'm using the lightning strings, and yeah, it's helping me through. Well, I train 6 days a week, 2 to 4 hours a day, and it also ranges between a squash session and a physical session. I was 17, and I just tried the circuit for a year, and then a year later I was top 16 in the world, and I just didn't stop since, so it's 12 years now. The toughest challenging experience would have to be the transition from junior to seniors. The 7 titles that I had, I won the first 2, and in 2007 I lost it in the second round, which was, you know, I was really taken aback after that, and from then on I learned so much from that loss that I didn't want to lose again. So in 2008 up to now, I've won my 5 world titles, and I have to get ready for the next Worlds now. The Harbour View in Hong Kong, and that was my first world title there in 2005. And it's just a skyline of Hong Kong behind the glass court, and you can see just the boats going past on the waterfront, and just the atmosphere is just, you know, phenomenal. Continue to just enjoy playing squash from a young age. Just not feel like you're pressured to play the game. You just have to have fun with your friends. You can follow me on Prince Squash Twitter.
I'm Rami Ashour. I'm from Egypt. I'm the world #1, and I play Prince. Well, I've been playing with Prince since I was very young, and I kind of feel it's part of my hands. It's an extension, to be honest. The aerodynamics of this racket, or the way when you swing, it just feels so much different than any other racket. I've always felt so much more comfortable with playing the Prince racket. The ball comes the same way you want to hit it. It's as simple as that. And the sweet spot on this racket is everywhere. The way the ball comes out of the Prince racket is different than the ball when it comes out of different rackets. So when you play with the Prince racket, you kind of play the right way of squash, and the ball is going to come out the right way, the right speed, regardless the angle you're playing with, you know what I mean? The speed of the ball coming out of this racket is so much different and faster than the speed of the right ball coming out of any other squash racket. That's what I truly love about this racket. It's just, it's easier and simpler to play with. I used to go in an Ahram tournament in Egypt. I used to put the glass court right behind the pyramids. This was one, for me, it was something out of this world. Because I was so desperate to watch those legends playing behind the pyramids. You know, it was something for me out of this world, just getting goosebumps every second. I love being in New York. I love the venue, it's amazing. Hong Kong is just so good. You put the glass court right behind the harbor. Just amazing as well. Pro match routine, actually music helps me a lot to calm down. That's the most thing which I'm really fond of before matches. Give it 100% regardless the result, without thinking about the result. You should just live in the moment and not live the moment. You have to live in the moment, because this is a totally different story. You just have to always give it 100% and treat every day as if it's the last day right before the weekend. You know what I mean? Because everyone is always motivated on the last day right before the weekend. So that's how I kind of trying to, you know, do every day. And if you pretty much give it 100% in every day you work on, and if you believe that actually is that every single minute makes a difference, every single effort makes a difference, you're kind of letting go of maybe what you want now, which is being relaxed for what you want the most, which is what you're going to get rewarded with later. So.
Hi, I'm Saurav Ghoshal from India, and I use the Prince Exo 3 Rebel. I'm pretty expressive in terms of my game, and I think the Prince racket accentuates that and gives me a slighter edge. We get faster racket head speed, which is really important on the Pro Tour because the game is so much quicker now than what it was, and keeps getting quicker every year. So it really helps with, you know, reacting really quickly, getting the shots in the right spaces. The racket is perfect to get a good length and also to, you know, feather the drop in really well, which is something that that my game is kind of built on. So I'd say the racket is perfectly suited to the way I play, and that's why I love it and I enjoy playing with it, and it's really important for me to enjoy my game to play well. I think I started when I was about 9 years old, and inspiration, probably my dad. He used to play a lot of squash, just club level stuff, but I just went with him, tagged along, tailed along, and here I am today, basically. I think the best memory has to be winning the British Junior Open in 2004 in Sheffield in England. Was the first Indian ever to win the boys under 19, and I'm still the only one ever. I turned pro when I was 17, and I remember the first few months I couldn't get into any PSA event, and then finally when I did get in, I was like qualifier, like outside the top 12 of the qualifying, and I was just like, right, I'm just gonna go and play this. I'm so happy that I continue doing this because this is just a great life. I went to the University of Leeds because I wanted to train with Malcolm Willstrop, who trains James Willstrop, who's my training partner as well. And I couldn't think of a better place to be in if I want to be a professional squash player. My biggest win on the PSA Tour has been winning the Windy City Open in Chicago last year. That was the biggest win I've had. But I think one that I would probably cherish the most right now is I made the last 16 of the World Open last December. New York Grand Central, because it's just a really, really hustling and bustling place. There are a lot of people who come to watch, and it's just great atmosphere. But if I have to be partial, it has to be the PSA Masters in India because it's home crowd. You know, everyone's coming to watch you. I think the most important thing is that, you know, you believe in yourself, and inside your head you need to dream quite big. You have to work extremely hard. At the end of the day, the more work you put in, the more luck you're going to have on that squash court, and the farther you're going to get. So work hard and believe in yourself.